Hello and welcome to this review of VB Virginia Black. This is a blend of 2-year, 3-year, and 4-year bourbon whiskey. Now on the label it says aged 2 years, distilled in Indiana. Well, you might know the rule. The age statement has to reflect the youngest whiskey in the blend, okay? So if you get like say I have Gibson's Finest 12-year aged. The youngest whiskey in that blend is 12 years in the barrel. There are older whiskeys in the blend. Okay, Virginia Black Decadent American Whiskey for Virginia Black Limited Liability Company of West Hollywood, California. And then it has a disclaimer, not from Virginia. Yeah, it's from Lawrenceburg, Indiana at Midwest Grain Products, the old Seagram's distillery, which was started in 1847. This is produced for a singer and actor. Been on the market since way back in 2016. Now I and my friend David, because he drank it already, and I was going to wait months to drink this, but he was like getting antsy for me to try it because he was telling me what he thought, and I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and drink it. Try it out. These bottles. This is a half size, $3.75. The full size 750s, I saw them right there at a local store for $38.99. So let's say half of 38. You would expect these to be $17, $18, $19 a bottle, right? This size. $5 at Savannah Discount on Louisiana Highway 45 northbound in Marrero, Louisiana. $5 for a $17, $18 bottle. So he says to me, I get a lot of great deals, and I'm like, I'm going to be coming back here. Okay, so anyway, we'll check out video reviews, see if they have any. I think there are some. There's some written reviews, some were not positive. Overall on Distiller, they don't have it listed on Proof 66, but on Distiller they're giving it an 83 out of 100. I'll call that a B. So they're saying it's good. Some people say bad, some say good. Now they say it's designed to be this Art Deco, 1920s Art Deco style bottle. To me it reminds me of a 1986 cologne bottle that you would have purchased at J.C. Penney. So that's what it's making me think of. This is just me. 1986 cologne bottle, J.C. Penney, the food court at the mall. But that's just my impression. I'm not against 1986 or food courts or malls or J.C. Penney. Alright, so anyway, let's check it out. First time to try it. We'll break the seal here. The seal. Hate to do it, but has to be done. Heck. Alright. It's just a plastic cap. They make it look metallic with the coating. Alright. Also bought this at, let's see, now these were at Discount Depot. Also right off of Highway 45 at the junction, practically just east of the junction of Louisiana 45 and US Highway 90 business route. This was $4.99 for the $3.75 at Discount Depot. North American Blended Whiskey. Curious to try Triple Crown and George Dickel Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey Cascade Hollow. Aged 3 years. Okay, so this was $8.99 for a liter. You heard me? $8.99 for 1 liter. And then David was telling me, I went back and bought 2 more. I said, 2 more? Yeah. He was getting like, he gets like me, like gets crazy, you know. Okay, with those deals. So I'm not going to tell you what he told me about this until I taste it, and I'm not going to say what the written review said, but they had some ideas about it, what they thought was being done with this. Okay, a little bit more. They're saying bourbon, 2-year, 3-year, and 4-year age bourbons. They didn't say straight bourbon, they just say bourbon. So there's a little difference there. Straight bourbon has to be never before, well, let's see, bourbon has to be never before used barrel. It has to be fresh barrels, charred. Straight bourbon has to be 2 years. Just regular bourbon, no age statement. Okay, so, all right, straight, at least 51% corn. But, you know, it's not describing itself as bourbon. It says American whiskey. American whiskey can have coloring added and can have flavoring added. So keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. Okay. 2, 3, and 4 year. Now, what a 4-year bourbon whiskey, whether it's from Indiana or Kentucky, doesn't really matter. Kentucky, of course, famous for bourbon, but Indiana has a rich bourbon heritage that a lot of people are not aware of. Philadelphia used to, and Baltimore, Maryland. All right. Would you even get this dark? Would you get this dark of appearance off a 4-year? You have to wonder if a 4-year bourbon would even give you this dark of an appearance. I have a feeling it would not. So could caramel color be added? Yeah, I think so. Is that a big deal? It is to some people. It isn't to others. Now, if you're paying $38.99 a bottle, $7.50, nice box though. It came in a really nice gift box, so it's an impressive package. So it would be a good gift. But now, it depends on the person. Some people take offense to the coloring and flavoring added. Some people just don't care. They just say, I just care how it tastes. I don't care what it's got in it. All right, we don't know the mash bill. They don't describe any of that. We just know the bourbon content. 2, 3, and 4 year. Okay. Nice alcohol eggs, so let's check it out. I got a great bargain. We got a great bargain. $5 a bottle, 375 milliliter. Certainly a bourbon aroma, deep charred oak of, I guess, various mixtures. There's definitely oak, vanilla, and my friend David kept saying floral, flowers, right? I said floral. Yeah, his impression was he didn't like it, or he was confused by it, or he thought it was unusual. He wasn't like jumping for joy though. I'm picking up leather, old shoe leather, old wood furniture, you know, in an old house from like 1911 that's been locked up for years. What about the mold? You know, with Jim Beam products, you get that cellar mold. No, I'm not really getting that, but there's a mustiness. I have been to Indiana. I've had roasted chicken. I bought beer in Indiana as well. Drove from top to bottom, too. There's a sweetness, a corn sweetness, which would make sense because it's probably almost all corn. Yellow corn grit sweetness. Well, so far it looks nice. Whether it's colored or not, I don't know. It smells really good. To me, yeah, you're saying $38.99 a bottle. It's smelling like that would be the proper price point from what I'm picking up here. Oh, really nice aroma. All that tannin. Hey, well, let's go on. They're talking about flavor. I'll tell you what they said on the written reviews. They thought there was flavoring added, like some kind of spice. And I've had so many Canadian whiskeys with the flavoring added. This does not. They're saying a sweetener added, sugar. It doesn't really taste like that. Was the case. I'm not getting that impression. Okay, I'm sorry. To me, my general impression is that it's vanilla, oak, it's oaky, it's woody, it's char, it's the flavor generally associated with American whiskey. Okay, all those things. But flavoring added, just not picking that up. Not picking that up. And if I was, I'd be the first to admit it. I have no reason not to. I have no favoritism toward nor against this product. Until I saw it in that bin, on that display, I should say, on that display, I never heard of it. I didn't know anything about it. It was on the market 3 years. I didn't know about it. Medium mouthfeel. Could be some nectar floral, but you'll get that in bourbon. Straight bourbon, nothing added. You just get those flavors. The dried fruit cake fruit. I'm getting a little of that. The candied fruit cake fruit. My general impression is that it's extremely heavily charred. And I don't think there's any kind of flavoring. It's just been in those barrels, and they must have used alligator char. I know they use alligator char for that Redemption High Rye. Where is that made? Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Starting to make sense. Okay, I didn't find that this Dickel had a heavy, it's a lighter color, and the char wasn't as heavy. Well, that's 3 years. It was nice. I liked it. I really found no fault with it. The Cascade Hollow, no longer produced, but you can still find bottles in the stores years later. Yeah, there's a little gaminess to it, like if you eat game meat, wild duck, or turkey, wild turkey, or deer, you'll get some of that. Indiana, deer hunting, you know. All right, but I remember back in high school, even people would drive to Illinois, southern Illinois, to go deer hunting. They talk about, we went to Illinois to go deer hunting. So you drove all the way up there? Yeah, it's not that far, they would tell me. Once you get to Memphis, it really isn't that far. All right, I'm very favorable towards this. I'm not sure of the score yet, but I'm not picking up a lot of detriment. There's a lot of high side, there's not a lot of downside. And as far as Drake, people say, what about him? I'm so aloof to that. I know nothing about him except the name, and that they said he's from Canada, and a few other little items about him, but that doesn't matter. These things are always, you get a lot of these celebrity products, and they're just produced by somebody. Maybe a little tea-like quality also, which is very interesting. Well, I'm going to give it a very high score, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know why somebody would say such terrible things about it, as I was reading on Distiller. Doesn't make any sense. The things he was saying don't match up to what I'm tasting here. I would prefer the Woodford Reserve, which is about the same price. And that has no age statement, by the way. So that's another story. But I would say they're comparable as far as quality, and I gave that a really high, strong A, heading toward A+. And I would do the same here. I would give it an A. Really solid A, 96, 97. I'm gonna stick by that. 96, 97. Let's say we'll round up. May as well go higher, give it the benefit of the doubt. Really nice product. They do great work at Indiana at Midwest Grain Products. All the evidence I've seen is that they do exemplary work. And I don't really care that they do a lot of bulk commodity items and do contract distilling, and they'll hook you up with something if you give them what you're looking for. It really doesn't matter to me. They have this down pat, okay? They're nailing it over there. Oh yeah, there's a lot of old wood. Lots of old wood. Oh yeah, it's dynamite. It's really a dynamite product. Sorry, David, I know you took issue with some of this, but I'm going to call it as I see it, and I see it as a great thing. I'm going to be very delighted to put this up against the other bourbons in my collection, including this, the Dickel, and the Kentucky Tavern, and the Jim Beam Green Label, the Jack Daniels Green Label, and the Old Forester, and so on and so on. So thanks for watching this video production. Man, I wasn't expecting too much. I was thinking, oh, I don't know what this is going to be like. So pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to end this review. Laissez les bon temps relais. I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.